welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time I'm going to be doing a full set of acrylic nails for beginners step by step. So as you can see, the first thing that I'm doing is going in with a cuticle pusher and just pushing back those cuticles, and this is going to expose the new growth and help with reducing lifting. So also whenever you're doing this, you can use a metal cuticle pusher, plastic or wood, as long as it can be disinfected or disposed of. Next, we're going to go in with a 180 sanding band, and for this part I'm using my Scarlet Melody Susie nail drill. I'll be sure to leave the link in the description to everything that I'll be using, which I highly recommend. But when we're doing this, we're just going in to remove the shine from the natural nail. As you can see, at first it was really shiny, and once we're done, it's really like ashy looking, you know, just not shiny anymore. And that's what you want to do. And also when you're doing this, you don't want to think about it too much. Literally just go in and remove the shine. We're not filing down to thin down the nail. We're just removing that shine because our body produces a lot of oils. Those oils happen to be on our natural nails, so we just want to get rid of that shine. And most importantly, going around the cuticle area, get as close as you can to that cuticle because that's where your lifting will come from. And I use my drill at 5,000 RPMs when I'm doing this. Also, if you don't feel comfortable using an e-file, you could always use a hand file, as long as it's a 180 hand file, as also, or not as also, but also. And same thing, just removing the shine from the entire nail. And then also I use this drill bit to kind of file down the natural nail if I need to, like the free edge if I need to, instead of going in there with a hand file. It's kind of like a 2-in-1. But other than that, like I said, we are just removing the shine. So after I am finished removing the shine, I'm going to go in with the nail tips. And when you're applying the nail tips, you want to make sure that you apply them exactly from sidewall to sidewall. You don't want the nail to be too big or too small because it will cause breakage or lifting, and we don't want that. So again, make sure that they fit exactly from sidewall to sidewall. And then we just apply the nail glue on the tip, place it down, and just hold it for a few seconds, and then do the same for all of the nails. Also, make sure that when you're doing this, you're holding your client's finger really straight because you don't want the nail to be crooked. And then another thing is that the nail tips come in a number 0 through a number 9 or 10. 0 being your biggest nail tip and number 9 and 10 being your smallest nail tip. Other than that, I think that's all of the information for applying nail tips. But remember, the main thing is making sure that you apply the correct size tip. And then other than that, tips also come in different colors. I usually use either clear or the natural ones. It kind of just depends on what I'm doing, or honestly, it depends on which ones I grab first out of my drawer. The only time you really want to make sure that you use the clear ones is when you're doing like a clear look. You know, if you're doing maybe some glitter where the nail tip is clear or whatever it may be. But if the nail requires to be clear, or if your client shows you a picture and you see that the nails are clear, then of course you would use the clear nail tips. But if you're going to be doing like colored acrylic to where it covers the entire nail, or gel polish on the entire nail, then you can definitely use the natural ones. But other than that, it's just a personal preference. I happen to grab the clear ones first this time, so those are just the ones that I'm going to be using. Also, another thing is that some tips also come in different shapes and lengths. So with that one, like whenever I first placed the pinky, I asked her, like, you know, is this long enough? And she said yes. So I just left them like that. But of course, if she wanted them like extra long, or like extendos, then I would be using like my longer nail tips. But other than that, we just apply all of the tips, and then we'll move on to the next step. So once I've applied all the nail tips, I'm not going to cut them down because she wants them this length. So what I'm going to do is I'm going in with my straight edge nail clipper. As you can see, the tip of the nail clipper is straight, not curved. And I'm just trimming down the side of the nails because she wants them coffin. So we're basically cutting them into a coffin shape. That way, whenever we come back in to start shaping them, we won't have to do so much filing, because I know for me it hurts my wrist really bad. So anytime I can, you know, do anything to help get some of that work off my wrist, look, I'm all for it. So we're gonna do that on both of the hands, and this is only if they're getting coffin nails. Now if they want a stiletto, then you would do the same thing, except for you would cut a little bit more on the sides, and of course if they wanted them square, then you would not cut at all. You would just leave them how they are. But after this, we're gonna go in and shape up the nails, and for that I'm going to be using an 80/80 hand file. Now your hand files, they also come in different grids. This one, like I said, is an 80/80. The lower the number, the more coarse the file is, and the higher the number, the more fine the grid is. So we're just filing both sides at exactly a 90-degree angle. We're going from that sidewall towards the free edge, just filing back and forth, and we're gonna alternate from side to side. And after that, we're just gonna file the free edge, filing at a vertical angle, making sure that it's nice and straight, and then we blend the nail tip right in the middle. That way, whenever we apply the acrylic, you don't see a smile line. But since I'm gonna do colored acrylic, I mean, it really does not matter, but it's just a habit for me to do it. But other than that, it's going to be the same thing on all of them. Remember, y'all, we're doing a 90-degree angle on both sides and the free edge. Make sure that you hold your file really straight, and when you're doing this, make sure that you're paying attention to what you're doing, because if you lean your file even just a little bit to, you know, like inwards or whatever, your corners are going to get rounded off and you're going to lose your coffin shape. So make sure that you're paying attention. And then always, whenever I'm doing this, I kind of stop for a second and look at the nail. If I need to go in and file a little bit more, then I do so. If not, I move on to the next one. Alrighty, so after I finish shaping up all of the nails, I just dust them off, and then we're going to start with the acrylic application. But before that, I'm going to go in with the primer, and this is just going to help the acrylic adhere a lot better to the natural nail. So I'm just applying that to the natural nail, and I am using the JC Beauty Concept acrylic system, which consists of the primer, the monomer, and the polymer. And also I'm going to use the soft peach and the clear acrylic for this set. And like I said, their monomer, I really like JC Beauty Concepts. I switched to them a few months ago, and I am very satisfied, and I definitely recommend it. You guys know that everything that I recommend are things that I use, especially things like this I use like every day. You guys know that I do nails every day, so these are products that I use every day and that I trust in. So I would not tell you guys to just buy something just to buy it, or just, you know, to make money or whatever. I am gonna recommend things that I truly believe in, so just to let you guys know that. But like I said, I am using the JC Beauty Concepts soft peach acrylic, which is a really light nudish acrylic. And we're going to do that on all of the nails. As you can see, this time I did not do the clear underneath, because we are going to keep this same color next time whenever she comes in for a fill. But if you were going to do a colored acrylic and your client knows for sure that next time when she comes she's going to want, you know, a different color, then of course you would go in and do the clear. So then next time when they come, you can just file away the colored acrylic, and then you still have clear underneath. So like, say that this client, like next time when she comes, she decides that, oh dang, like, you know, I decided to get clear instead, then we would have to soak off this set and do another set with just clear acrylic, because we didn't do the clear underneath on this one. So you just keep that in mind when you're doing acrylic. But also I forgot to mention that the brush that I am using is the number 10 brush. It's an oval shape, and it's by Alpha Brush. I've been using their brushes for a really long time, and I absolutely love them and definitely recommend them. Also, JC Beauty Concepts has a brush. It's really good as well. It's a little bit cheaper. I was using it for a while, so you can check them out as well. But now, as you can see, I first applied the soft peach acrylic, and then now I'm going in with the clear to encapsulate it. The reason why I'm going in with the clear is just because, you know, with the colored acrylic, you just apply it for color. So I just applied it until we had a good coverage. And then with the clear, I apply it to build my apex and my thickness at the tip. The apex is the part of your nail where the nail gets its strength from. So if you were to hit your nail on something, if your nail is really flat and thin, then your nail would easily break off. But if you have a nice apex, then like I said, that's where your nail is going to get that strength, so it's not going to break off too easy. Also, whenever I'm applying acrylic, I'm steady looking at the nail from different angles, and I'm looking for that apex. You know, if I don't have an apex, I'm going to add a little bit more acrylic. But I did have a little dip on this nail, and I didn't want to keep adding acrylic because I didn't want to make the nail any thicker. So I am going to go in, and instead of adding more product, I'm just going to file it down to even it out once I'm completely done. I don't know why that happened, but that's the only nail that's going to look a little bit off. And I'm sure you guys seen it by the thumbnail if, you know, you had to like really be staring at it to notice. But other than that, like I said, we're just applying the acrylic. This first bead, I've just placed it closer to the cuticle area, pat it down, and then brushing down towards the tip. Now, whenever you are brushing, you want to make sure that you are brushing super gently. If you brush too hard, you're going to be wiping away that product. And then also, I feel like if you pat too hard, it's like it dries the acrylic a lot faster, and that's when your nails get bumpy and lumpy, and we don't want that. We want the nails to be super smooth and just flawless. So make sure that you brush down super gently. Also, whenever you pat it down, it's like you're literally like feathering it, not brushing hard at all. Also, another thing is making sure that as you're working, you're wiping your brush off a lot on the paper towel. You also want to make sure that you're using good paper towels. I use the Viva paper towels, and you can get these from Walmart, from Dollar General, just about anywhere, but they're the Viva Signature cloth paper towels. They work really good. They just suck in all of that liquid in the product and keeps my brush nice and clean, because if you don't use good paper towels, that product is going to get stuck to your brush and it's just going to keep building up and building up in your brush to where you're not going to be able to apply the acrylic on smoothly. Other than that, as far as applying acrylic, another tip would be to make sure that you clean around the cuticle area really good. That way you don't have any product on the skin, because if you do, it's going to be really hard to take off once it's dry, and most likely you will get lifting. Another thing is also, as you can see, I kind of wipe on the sides as well, and that just helps with being able to keep my shape. You know, a lot of the time, you know, the acrylic takes away from your shape. It kind of rounds off the corners. So with me wiping the sides and the fridge, it just helps with being able to keep that coffin shape. But what else? Oh yeah, I do have a practice sheet for beginners that you guys can download and print it out and put it in a little plastic sleeve and practice your liquid to powder ratio. That should be the first thing that you do before you actually try to do acrylic nails on yourself or on anyone. You want to practice your liquid to powder ratio, because if you are not working with the correct consistency, then you're not going to be able to do nails at all, because either the nails are going or the acrylic is going to be too dry, or it's going to be too wet and it's going to be a disaster. So just practice that for a little bit, and then once you know are consistent with your beads, then that's when you can start practicing, you know, on yourself or on your friend, your cousin, whoever. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys watch, because it's the same process over and over and over again. That's why I always tell you guys that it's all about practicing, having patience, and being dedicated, because the steps are never going to change. It's always going to be the same. It's just a matter of doing it over and over and over and over again until you finally, you know, get the process down. Also, another thing when first starting out doing nails is organization. You want to be super organized, because that's going to help with your timing, and that's just going to help, you know, overall with you not being so nervous and you not being kind of like all over the place. So just having your things out and kind of lined up on your table in the order that you're going to use it is going to cut down on your time, and it's just going to make you feel more comfortable. So you want to make sure that you're organized, because then you're going to be scrambling through all of your drawers looking for your nail clipper or looking for your brush or whatever it may be. Make sure that you know exactly where everything is. But other than that, your speed is just going to come with time and practice. There's not something that I can just tell you, okay, do this and you're going to be able to do nails in 30 minutes. Like, no, you just have to practice. And you're gonna live and you learn, and you're gonna learn by your mistakes. You know, every time that you do a set, you're gonna be like, okay, you know, last time I messed up on that, so you know, this next time I'm gonna make sure I fix that. And it's always, you know, it's always gonna get better. So just be patient and just, you know, stay dedicated, practice as much as you can, and then you'll be doing nails in no time. Alrighty, so we're finishing up this first hand, and then for the second hand, since it's the same process, I'm just gonna go ahead and speed it up. So yeah, just enjoy. Alrighty, so after I finish applying the acrylic, I'm going to go in with the same 80/80 hand file. And this time we're going to just be reshaping the nails, because after you apply the acrylic, like I said earlier, it kind of takes away from your shape. So you just want to make sure that you redefine that shape and you have that perfect shape, because if not, it would take away from your set. I always feel like a lot of the time, like when I'm scrolling through Instagram, that's like the first thing I notice is the shape, and then I kind of pay attention to everything else afterwards. But your shape will literally make or break your sets, so make sure that you pay attention to that when you're doing it. And remember that it's all about the angle of your file, so make sure that you're paying attention to that as you're doing it, because once it's crooked, y'all, it's really hard to fix, because then it might be more like narrow than the other nails, and it's just gonna kind of mess everything up. So make sure that you're paying close attention to this part of the nails. So after we finish reshaping the nails, I'm going to go in with my fine drill bit, and we're going to focus around the cuticle area first, going from the right side all the way over to the left side, going back and forth until you are able to see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way you know that the acrylic is not on the skin. And then even though my nails are already nice and smooth, I still go in and file all of the nails. That way, you know, it's just all nice and even and smooth or whatever. But making sure that we focus around the cuticle area. Also, as you can see, when I'm doing this, I always, like anytime that I'm using my e-file, I position my pinky on the side of their finger. That way I get really good stability. If I was not to do this, y'all, my drill would be all over the place and I would not be able to do my job how I need to. and most likely I would get lifting. So you're gonna find different little things that work for you. You know, you might not have to hold your client's finger, you know, like you might have to do something completely different, but whatever works for you is completely fine. But this is what I would suggest doing. You know, just try it out and see if it works for you a little bit. But like I said, it just helps with getting stability as you're doing this. But we're gonna continue to file all of the nails. Like I said, y'all, it's super important to file around the cuticle area first. And then, as you guys remember earlier, I told you guys that on this nail I had like a little dip like closer to the tip, so I'm just going in and evening that out. So as you can see, I just did a little bit more filing on that ring finger than I will on the rest, because all of the other ones are like really nice and smooth, and we you know, don't have to do all of that. Just the normal filing around the cuticle area and then the rest of the nail. So yeah, and then also I am using my e-file at 10,000 RPMs when I'm doing this. So whenever we remove the shine, I used it at 5,000. Whenever I am filing the acrylic like I'm doing here, I use it at 10,000. But as always, if you need to use it at a different speed, that is completely fine. Use it at whatever speed you feel comfortable using it at. Alrighty, so now we're going to go in and buff all of the nails, and this is going to get rid of any of the scratches left on the nails from the hand file or the e-file. So after you're done doing nails, if you look really close at the nail, you're going to be able to see those scratches. So that's what we want to get rid of, because like I said, we don't want to be able to see those through our polish. So just buff the nails really good, and then I always run my thumb over the top of the nail to feel on it, and that way if it still feels a little bit rough, then I go in and buff a little bit more. If not, I move on to the next nail. So we're gonna do that on both hands, and then after this we're just gonna dust the nails off. We're gonna wipe them off with an alcohol wipe, and then we're gonna start with the polish application. Alrighty, so I'm going to be speeding this whole part up because I wanted to focus on the acrylic application mostly. But for the polish, I'm going to be going in with the silver holographic polish in the color Just My Luck by D&D. And this is the color that I always use underneath my bling. So anytime you see me using this color is because I'm going to be applying bling. So as you can see, we're going to do that V shape, like outlining basically the tip in bling and making it into a V shape. And we're gonna do that on all of, well, we're gonna do the bling on the ring finger and the pinky, and then on the rest we're gonna do the white. But like I said, I'm going in with my small nail art brush. As you can see, we're going from like the side wall down to the middle of the nail, and then we're meeting both sides right in the middle, and we're gonna do the same thing on all of them. Make sure that when you're doing this, you're using a small like little nail art brush, that way you don't mess up or anything. And then like I said, for the rest we're just gonna do the white gel polish, which will be Perfect White by Madam Glam. My promo code for them is GETNAILED. As you guys know, they are my all-time favorite gel polishes. They work really good for me. They go on really good. They last so long. They are vegan. They're cruelty-free. They're 9-free. If you guys didn't know, every first Sunday of the month, I go live on their Instagram page and I swatch a new collection each time, and then at the end of the live I end up giving away the collection. So there's always one lucky winner. But again, this is Madam Glam, and I just, obviously, as you can hear me just going on and on and on about them, I just absolutely love their polishes. But we're gonna do the white on the other, well, these 3 fingers, and then for the next hand we're gonna do the same thing, and then of course curing each coat for 30 seconds because I am gonna go in and do 2 coats of the white. Alrighty, so we're finishing up this one with the first coat. So now we're going to cure for 30 seconds. And to cure them, I am using my Holly lamp by Madame Glam. And it's just really pretty. And of course, it works really well. I've been using it for a while and I have not had any issues at all whatsoever. And like I said, I cured the gel polish for 30 seconds and then the top coat for 60. Alrighty, so for the bling, I'm going to be using my wax pencil, my ABSS6 SS12, and as always, the Soleil nail adhesive, which I absolutely love and recommend. It works really good for me, and my bling always stay on the entire 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks even. So definitely recommend it. I'll be sure to leave her information down below. But that is the Soleil nail adhesive. It's like $10 a bottle, but they last a long time. And like the bottle actually lasts a long time, but the bling also stays on for a long time. But as you can see, I'm just going in and applying glue as I needed, and then I'm just alternating between the different sizes. As you can see, closer to the top where the lines start or where the polish start, I just go in with the smaller SS6, and then as the line get thicker, I go in with the bigger ones and just alternate between the different sizes to fill in where the polish is. We're gonna do that on this ring finger and the pinky, and then as well as the other 2 fingers on the other hand, and then we're gonna go in with the top coat. Also, whenever every time that I use my Soleil nail adhesive, I spray the nails with the bling with the hurry up spray, which is a spray that is basically an activator, and it just helps the glue dry a lot faster. And because this is a gel resin and not just a glue but a gel resin, it means that it's a little bit thicker than regular nail glue, so it takes it a little bit longer to dry. So when you spray them with the activator, it's like it instantly dries that glue. So I definitely recommend that you use the activator. The bottle is about $8 to $10 on Amazon. I believe Sally's sell it as well, but I think it's like $8, but it also lasts a long time because you literally just do one spray. The bottle looks like a hairspray bottle, and it's just literally like spray and air in a bottle, but it dries the glue. But as you can see, we're just going in and doing the glue around the bling. I kind of do it like around the edges, not on the actual bling, but just around the edges. And then now I'm just going in with the Madame Glam gel top coat, which I absolutely love, and we're just applying that on all of the nails. And then afterwards, we're going to cure each hand for 60 seconds. Alrighty, y'all, so here is the final look. As you can see, they turned out really pretty, and I just really hope that this video helps and that you guys enjoyed. So as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at GetNailed32, and I will see you guys next time.